From stories across the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A very good evening to you. I'm Nitya De Oliveira.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Javed Bongzo and we begin with the headlines of tonight's news.
Several areas removed from isolation while some other areas isolated. More than 80% recover from the COVID-19. 26 including a bride in Alutgama area infected with COVID-19. The Prime Minister instructs to open cinema halls from the 1st of January under health guidelines. The global corona patients exceed 80 million. People get the opportunity to view the fast food stall more than 2,000 years old.
Now, in your top story this evening, the National Operations Centre to prevent the spread of COVID-19 says that isolated status of several areas of Colombo have been removed from the isolated status. However, several areas in the Ratnapura district have been isolated. Isolated status of Colombo Dam Street, Kesselwatta and Maradana police divisions will be removed from 5 a.m. tomorrow. The isolated status of Vaikanda and Hunupitiya Grama Seva divisions of Slave Island Police Area, Myra Place of Vallavatta Police Area, Halgahavatta and Kalipulavatta of Boralla Police Area, Laksanda 7 of Valampitiya Police Area will be removed from 5 a.m. tomorrow. Meanwhile, Housedorf West and East Grama Nilidari divisions of Kesselwatta Police Area will be isolated from 5 a.m. tomorrow. Travel restrictions have been imposed on Veluana area in Dematagoda from this morning. Meanwhile, several Grama Seva divisions of Ahaliagoda and Godakavela divisional secretariat areas of the Ratnapura district have been isolated. Minnana, Vilegoda, Yakudagoda, Usgangula North and Bopatta Gram and Nilidari divisions of Ahaliagoda divisional secretariat areas were isolated from this afternoon. The National Operations Centre to prevent the spread of COVID-19 says that Rakwana Town, Rakwana North, Rakwana South, Masimbula and Kotala Gram and Nilidari divisions of Godakavela divisional secretariat areas were declared as isolated areas from this afternoon. Meanwhile, travel restrictions have been imposed on Vaunia, Peria, Ulukulama village.
And the epidemiology unit says the number of COVID-19 recoveries in the country has increased up to 32,701. Another 650 COVID-19 recoveries were reported in the country today. 21 fully recovered COVID-19 patients who were receiving treatments at the COVID-19 treatment centers in Polonnaruwa district were discharged today. They were identified as residents of Colombo district. A total of 15,811 COVID-19 recoveries have been reported in the country since the beginning of this month until today. The highest number of COVID-19 recoveries recorded in a day was reported on December 16th. Accordingly, 785 recoveries were reported on that day. Meanwhile, a total of 650 COVID-19 recoveries were reported today. The percentage of fully recovered COVID-19 patients in the country is at 80.07, taking the tally to 32,701. The percentage of active patients receiving treatments is at 19.47, with the tally at 7,954. Meanwhile, another 462 COVID-19 patients were identified in the island today. Out of this, total 480 have been identified as close associates of the patients in the Paliagoda cluster. The remaining 54 patients have been identified as those connected to the prison cluster. Another COVID-19 death reported yesterday from an elders' home in Colombo 15. A 67-year-old male at the home has died at the Homagama Base Hospital due to a COVID pneumonia situation. The Ministry of Health has requested the public to refrain from creating fake news on COVID deaths. The ministry said that certain politicians and websites publicize wrong information on the burial or cremation of bodies of persons who had died due to COVID-19. The ministry has said that it has paid its attention on fake news created by websites linking strong political characters connected to the government with political news. According to the experts, news received by the Health Ministry, the bodies of all those who had died due to COVID-19 are being cremated. The Health Ministry requested everyone to refrain from publishing fake news by distorting health policies with political objectives. A total of 13,516 PCR tests were conducted yesterday. The total number of PCR tests conducted so far is at 1,255,072. After deliberations with artists including film producers, directors and members of Film Association, Minister of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has permitted the reopening of cinemas under strict new health protocols. The decision has been taken in order to revive the entertainment industry, but cinemas in isolated areas will remain closed. Prime Minister Rajapaksa has stressed the importance of enforcing strict sanitation rules within cinema premises and requests the public to strictly adhere to COVID-19 guidelines issued by the Health Ministry and safely return to the new normalcy. The COVID-19 patient resident at Makola North Devala Road and fled the area while under self-quarantine in Sabgaskanda has been found from a house at Makola North area this afternoon. The 22-year-old youth has been imprisoned for a drug offence and was under self-quarantine after releasing from prison. PCR tests have confirmed him as a COVID-19 patient. However, he has fled the home when health officials visited his house. According to an information received by Sabgaskanda OIC, he has been found in the house with a woman. Public health inspectors in the area say that 16 COVID-19 patients were found in Ambagamu Divisional Secretariat area. Their contacts have been subject to self-quarantine. 7 COVID-infected persons have been found at Kodagala Medical Officers area. Their contacts have been subjected to self-quarantine and the patients have been sent to treatment centres. The contacts of 41 patients found from a factory at Vatavala in Hatton were subject to self-quarantine. Director of Rikilagaskada Base Hospital, Dr. Nishanka Vijayawardena, says that Nuwara Hanguranketha Regional Hospital has been converted into a COVID-19 treatment centre. 26 persons, including the bride, have been confirmed to be infected with COVID-19 at a wedding which was held at a hall in Aludgama area following a PCR test conducted yesterday at Magguna area. A resident of Payagala Putuvila who attended the wedding was confirmed to be infected with the virus. Accordingly, all guests were subject to rapid antigen tests. The wedding hall was temporarily closed since. 2 employees were also infected with COVID-19. The patients have been sent to special COVID treatment centres in Aludgama, Darga Town and Hikkadua RHK Kanda Hospital. They are residents of Payagala, Putuvila, Sajit Lal Mawat and Horagaskale area.
Now, in the meantime, from the global arena, 3 new variants of COVID-19 have been detected in recent weeks, leading to increased vigilance across the world as novel coronavirus has infected over 80.7 million people globally and has claimed more than 1.7 million lives at present. Now, meanwhile, Japan has temporarily banned non-resident foreign nationals from entering the country following the detection of the new variant of the coronavirus first discovered in the UK, but now also found in Canada and Sweden.
As a new variant of the coronavirus on Saturday was detected in Canada and Sweden, Japan said it's temporarily banning non-resident foreigners from entering the country. The ban takes effect Monday and will run through January. It comes after Japan on Friday confirmed its first 5 cases of the new faster-spreading variant in passengers arriving from the UK. Over in Canada, officials confirmed 2 cases of the variant that were first detected in the UK. Health officials in Ontario said the cases were discovered as the province went into lockdown on Saturday. A couple in southern Ontario with no known travel history had tested positive. In Sweden, the variant was detected in a traveler from the UK who had become ill. The Swedish Health Agency said the traveler had been isolated and that no further cases had been detected.
We now bring you some development news. 2 houses built under the program to build 14,000 houses were vested with the people. The houses have been built at Deulapitia Divisional Secretariat area. The government provided funds and the labour was obtained from house owners for the construction. The program is implemented in 14,022 Grama Seva divisions in the country. The houses were vested with the people under the patronage of State Minister Indika Anuruddha.
Now, in more local stories, it has been decided not to reissue permits for the individuals who do not properly conserve rocks, earth and sand mining places. Minister Mahinda Amaravira has instructed relevant authorities to take speedy action in this regard. A special discussion in this regard took place at the Ministry of Environment yesterday. Many environmental issues have arisen due to no proper conservation programs of such places. Deaths have been reported and animals injured after falling into deep pits that have been used to mine clay. The minister has instructed Geological and Mines Bureau to properly conserve and develop such places. The minister pointed out that conservation activities should be done at the expense of the people who obtain mining permits. Steps have been taken to include the necessary clauses into agreement when issuing permits.
And traders say that retail Manning marketplace in Petta is not suitable for trading activities. They request the government to make it suitable place for trading activities. About 300 traders are engaged in business activities in retail Manning market in Petta. They say that they have been severely affected by the prevailing pandemic. They say that authorities were informed in writing on several occasions. And that's it for tonight's news. Watch us tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Good night.